1, 2, 1, 2, inside. It was Peckham. I didn't really realise like what the reputation, I suppose, that Peckham had until I got into my early teens, but before that point, it was just home. My early influences with music was through my mum. So my mum was like a big fan of Anita Baker, so I listened to that a lot, and then Michael Jackson, and you know, I wanted to be like a musician from really early on. I think before I was 10, like I was trying to call record labels out of the yellow pages and stuff like that. Soul Solid Crew came from radio. People don't understand is like pirate radio then was essentially YouTube now. And it was the only way that you could discover or find new talent. I found a radio station called Supreme FM, which was set up in Brixton, pirate radio station, and Soul Solid were on that station. That's the first station they were on. So actually I was a fan of the group or the crew before I joined it, do you know what I'm saying, before I was in it. I met people that knew them, I met people that knew the station owners, and I hustled and I got myself to the station and managed to get myself my own show. So Mega and Soul Solid, they left Supreme. They started their own radio station called Delight. They invited me on that. A few months into that, they asked me if I wanted to join the crew. The rest was history. You can tell that from how we were as a crew, kind of the music that we made, that we were quite carefree. And our aim was to not worry about the politics of the industry and what anyone thought about what we were doing or whatever. And I think that's what made us so unique.
The best UK garage act is, and I love them, Soul Solid.
It was a sacrificial scenario that we found ourselves in, because we were the first to do something here. And it meant it was untried, it was untested. And we took the brunt of that, whatever anyone wants to think, you know, whether it was tours were banned, whether we were arrested, whether we faced a backlash from our own people as well as others or whatever, we kind of went through all of that. And it was a real good guinea pig situation for what we have now as a music game. So I'm not a man to really dwell on my past. I'm so busy thinking about what's next all the time, and I think, you know, that's what's kept me relevant, I suppose, today. As a solo artist, I've still got so much to achieve. I had my own solo album, came out, same time I went to prison. Actually, the label actually tried to release it when I was in prison, thinking that it would have notoriety and more impact and whatever, and we just weren't, the infrastructure of the culture and the vibe over here just weren't built for it at the time, so the album didn't do that well. A lot of people don't know, like, when I first started acting, it was musical theatre. I was singing, do you know what I'm saying, pretty much. Doing a lot of the West End, so I started like I was in Carmen Jones in the Old Vic. I did Oliver at the London Palladium, Children of Eden, Prince Edward Theatre. So I did the rounds. It was good, man, it was good. I'm not gonna front. I was starstruck over there. Like, it was for me, it was such a daunting experience. I never been through so much stress in my life, actually. I was so caught up with that, the fact that I was working with him. I'd spent like 7 months in prison listening to his album, do you know what I'm saying, and everything, and the build up to all his success. So coming out, and then not too long after that, being kind of thrust into that position, it was amazing, but scary at times. I came back a changed person. I came back kind of energized. At that point, I think I started to slightly control my destiny a bit more. You have to be very smart and strategic about the work that you do. Actually, you know, the success of your career is usually based on the jobs that you don't take. You have to be really clear about how you want people to see you. And there was a point where I was only playing certain roles. I was only playing the gangster role. I was only playing the bad boy in it. Oops. I had to put my foot down and say, nah, I want to hold out for some different things. I wanted people to see that I could act rather than just play what they thought was just playing myself. I'm nothing like Deshane. A lot of people don't know that, but I'm nothing like it. In order for people to kind of see you in a different space, you have to show them. I was sent the script, and it was just dope. My attention span is quite short when it comes to reading. So it take me, when I'm sent scripts or even shows that I'm doing, it will take me a good 2 days to read a script. When I got the Top Boy script, when Ronan first sent it, I read it all the way through.
I want a life. I was born and bred in Summer House, 26 years old.
Out of all of the scripts that I got that were about the same kind of place and the same thing, it had human characters in there that I felt were represented. So you know you got a good show on your hands if you get the right actors, which they did. But when it was cancelled, I was fuming. I was upset. Tried to find out why. I couldn't really find out why, and then spent a lot of time like just trying to remind the production company and that people loved it. But it quickly became evident that it wasn't going to happen again. So eventually, it's like when it went on Netflix, season 1 and 2, it just rejuvenated the whole thing and just picked it back up. And then obviously that's when the man Drake hollered at us, and it just went from there. What social media has done is scaled things up like massively and like fast, because you can now reach people, you know what I'm saying, quickly all around the world. Whereas before it was a process. But it was important that we did it that way in the beginning, and that whole word of mouth thing, you know what I mean? It was important for us, and as a lesson for me, you know what I mean, in life.
That's why I'm at the top, boy.
I'm always working on music, so I weren't working on any releases or anything like that. I only started putting music out again at the beginning of this year. It's kind of crazy because when I was in that space where I'm like not making it for any reason or whatever, I was making loads of music. I had loads of music. I was doing like, you know, 3 tracks a session and this and that, whatever. Now, I can't seem to make a track. I can't seem to make a track, like, but I suppose that's down to focus, you know, understanding more now what I want my narrative to be, how I want the songs to sound or whatever, and just making sure that I get it right. I've already created my own sound, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's what I'm trying to stick with. I'd already had a working relationship with P Money already. We'd done the Star One track, we won the show. When it came to kind of rounding the track off, Tobes came in, and DEE, who I already knew and was a fan of, but I didn't even think he would do it, you know what I mean? So I wasn't gonna be the one that was gonna ask, but he was asked and he did it. Top Boy, next season. Bulletproof, we got a documentary coming with that as well, and AI computer game, yeah, 100%. Can't get rid of me, man.